Going to take a look at some hold down clamps for these 3/4 inch MFT style tables. Now I looked online and they were very expensive. How much would it cost if I use one of these? Because this thing here is about $6. Only problem is how to make it work in these holes here. So I have some 3/4 inch. It's actually not 3/4 inch. So we're going to make it about 8 inches. Let me go cut this. I'll probably cut it. This is Delrin. I'm going to cut it and then I'll tap it so that we can kind of screw it in there. Yeah. So now we just got to figure out how it's going to work here. It can't go on here. I think that's too short a distance. It might work because this has to kind of change the vector angle and make it more diagonal, so it pushes this back in that direction for it to grab, because it's quite loose in here. If it's too close to the forces here pushing that way, it's just going to lift it up. It's just going to lift it straight up. So we're going to figure out how to make it a little farther away so that the force here is actually vectored that way and pushes against this that way. It'll lock that in there. I found this. This is definitely wide enough. It's just a 90-degree angle, so probably have to straighten that. Maybe hit it with the hammer a few times. Get it kind of straight, and this might work. Let me try that. I'll be right back. Works really good. I'm impressed. Okay, this works pretty good. I think the reason it works though is this part here, it flexes, changing the angle of the force, making this bite. I mean, you can watch it flex here. See here? You see how it lifts up? If it wasn't for that, if this is too rigid, this piece, I think when you push this down, it'll just work itself up. But because this was able to flex here, let me see if we can get here. So we push down, see that flex right there? That changes the angle on this rod here. And instead of pulling it straight up, it pushes it back and locks. So it does work pretty good. I want to think about making more of these now. Second type of clamp I'm going to look at today is this one here. Now the Festool one is about 40, I think it was like 43, 45, no, somewhere in there, between $40 and $45. There is this one. There's a Bessie one that was about $37, I think, about $5 less, or $7 or $8 less than the Festool one. And there's this one. This is PowerTech. PowerTech was $20. And I got two of these, and they seem to work really good. They work in all the tracks I have, and they work in a table. And it's really good to hold down. It's not exactly one-hand operation, but you know, you have to pull this one up, and then whoop, pull it up, and it's got a lot of clamping force. There's another Chinese version I saw. I think it was works out to $15 a piece. I think you buy 2 of them for about 30 bucks. And it looks exactly the same, only there was no protective pad here. Like this one's some kind of plastic. Looks like it clips on and clips off. That might be important or not, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, if you're gonna work on something really good, you probably put something else in there, you know. What else type? I got this from Walmart. This is $5 for I guess there's 6-inch version. It's got a 6-inch opening there, and it's $5. The other styles I have, like the Irwin ones, those are, I think, for this size about $20. So I think this is the best bargain. I don't know how long it's going to last. It does seem to have a good amount of leverage. The only problem is, to make it work for this type of table, you're going to have to take this out here. I think that's a dog. This allows you to take that off, put it in here, and reattach it. However, you're going to have to do this blindly normally because you're going to put it, so it's hard to put this back in. What you can do is get some of these push pins. It's just a, I guess, a solid rod with a ball bearing in there. They have the ones with the keychain, I mean the key ring on the back, or some that had a push pin. You push the pin in, the ball bearings fall back in, and you just gotta drill the hole, same size as this, and you put it in, it goes in, it doesn't come out. See? That way you can do this without looking. Push it in there, then you can drop this guy in here. Well, where's the hole? Without looking. Without looking. Yeah. Anyway. Again, it's not exactly going to be one-hand operation. In fact, hold on, be right back. In fact, I would recommend you put something like this on there. That way you get something to grab and lock it down. So if you're gonna clamp something, just grab this, hold on to that, slam it down, and then you're solid. Yeah, it's got a lot of force. You probably break the handle before anything else. So now come back out. Just gotta reach under there, pull it back out, and you're good to go. The last type of clamping that they sell on Amazon, it's about, I think it's like $40 for 2 or $35 for 2. I'll try and look them up, but I also saw a bunch that some people made out of wood. But it seems like a lot of work to make a clamp. So, but luckily I have time now today, so I'm gonna try and make some. My problem is I'm a bit lazy. I don't want to take out that block of wood and mill out that middle section and get it all working. So I looked around. I got plywood, but I thought maybe I'll make it out of hardwood. So it's got a lip on it. It's probably trim for something. Yeah, that one's rounded over, so it's some trim. Got a bunch of hardwood scrap, so that's a good piece. I think I'll use that. Now let's see. The general idea, I think, is a block of wood, and there's a cam thingy here, right? And I guess this wood is a lever. I guess sort of like that. Thing goes down, right? The only problem is you got to clear out this section to put this in. I mean, you know, sort of, I guess like that. And I'm going to have to clear out this section here for this lever to be inside here. It's not difficult, not at all, but using some of the scrap, I think it was about 1.25 inches tall. I had no idea how large to make the clamps. This is the first one. It's basically the prototype. I mean, I'll make some better ones later, and I'll make another video later. But I went with 5 inches. I think 5 inches for the total length, and the inside piece was 3 inches. Now I found something that was about 1.5 inches, so, and it was circular, so I used that as like my cam section. What I decided was that I wanted to lift about half of that distance. So I went from the very center to the top, and I marked the hole. That would be my pivot point for my cam. However high you mark it away from the center point is how much it's going to cam over. So basically, it's probably going to go about 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch. So I cut the pieces, and then I'm just going to glue them up. And then, actually, the whole plan was to wait, you know, the next day and then finish it up. But I had nothing else to do, so because I didn't want to put screws in here, but I ended up just screwing it together so that I could finish it up, you know, and get some ideas of how, you know, if it worked, one, and you know, it's mechanics and how can I improve it so I could actually make the real ones that I was going to actually use. But we glued it up. I don't know why. I thought maybe the glue would dry fast, knowing that it takes a while. So there's a piece, and that's not the most aesthetic looking lever ever. But again, this is the prototype. So cut it on the bandsaw. And then, you know, just sanded it just a tad bit. Now, I was looking for a bolt that could go through, you know, go through the whole thing. And I'll just tap the far side, so it just screws in. So I think I found a bolt. It was looks like a 1024 bolt. It doesn't matter what size you use, just you know, just pick anything that goes all the way through. Again, I'm going to make a part 2 of this, you know, so I'll go into more detail how to make it later. At this point, I didn't know if this was, you know, if this is going to work or be good, but I actually found out that this clamp is probably the best option. Actually, I thought that my PowerTech or that Festool type of clamp would be the best one. At $20, it seemed reasonable, but you know, these things you can make out of scraps that you have lying around, so it's virtually free, and it works way better than the ones you buy. So I definitely say go with this type of clamp. But here you go. You can see me. I screwed it in, and it seemed to work pretty good. I liked it. Just that the lever looked kind of not so pretty, I guess. Next thing was to put in the, I guess the dowel. I had some dowels I purchased from Lowe's. They were quite cheap, like 4 dowels for a couple of bucks. So, you know, you're only looking at like 50 cents maybe for a dowel. If you got it in a longer lengths and cut it down yourself, probably would be cheaper. I just got the packet, so. And again, I wouldn't be putting screws in here. It's just that I didn't want to wait for the glue to dry. It's just a prototype. So put some screws in, and then it's going to go drill the drill a hole for the dowel. The dowel, I think I put a bolt in the dowel too. I didn't want to wait for the glue to dry on the dowel also. So there it is, kind of complete. And I just eyed the center, you know, just pick a spot. It's not all that important. Okay, not sure where I left off. Actually, we're waiting for the glue to dry since I kind of messed it up, but went ahead and finished it up. There we go. And that is it there. The reason I finished it up is, I guess, I wanted to see if it worked and figured out all the kinks because this is the first prototype. So I wanted to make sure that I can get started on the next set. Now from this, let me back it up here. From this, what I found was that this 6 inches is too short. I mean, you know, it's got a maximum working height of 3 inches. So, you know, definitely want to make some longer. Maybe a couple small ones like this and a couple, maybe at least double the size. Also, I think we want this to go a little bit further. So either we're gonna cut that back or we're gonna, you know, shape this kind of like that. Actually, that makes it look better, the handle now. Maybe I should think about that. Yeah, this doesn't matter. And maybe this rubber here, I'll probably make it the whole bottom. Just trying to save on rubber, but so let's see how this works. It does work pretty good. You just put it in there and boom, and it's pretty strong. I mean, it's actually has a lot of holding power.